Here's how to practice this. Super vital, super key, super important. Nice and easy. Wasn't that easy? 5 beginner tricks in the mini ramp, or as we have here, the mini bowl. Okay, so normally I would do this just on a straight mini ramp. It's very easy, but today this is what we have at the skate park, and I thought this might be good because at your skate park this might be all you have. And this is a very interesting setup because this transition is not very smooth. It's a little bumpy, it's a little wobbly, but you can still learn on a transition like this. Great, so tip number 1, the best place for you to start and where you are going to start is always on the flat bottom. So you are gonna just have your skateboard down here. You've already gotten comfortable riding, you know which stance, which foot you put forward, you're feeling confident on your board, you got your helmet on, elbow pads, knee pads, wrist guards, etc. And you're ready to skate. So put your front foot on there, give it a push, and just roll up and down. So the first thing that you're going to learn in any mini ramp, mini bowl, any transition situation is how to pump. And when we say transition, we mean literally the curvature of it going from flat and curving up, which is differentiated from a bank because a bank is flat, transition has curvature. So this is, pumping on a skateboard is kind of like learning to swing. You know when you're a kid and you're on a swing at the park and you kick your feet out and it makes the swing go faster, and then to go back the other way, you sort of pull your feet back and you're using your body weight to increase the momentum. It's the same in a ramp. So how you're going to do that is a series of bend your knees and then push down. So give it a push, and as you ride up, bend, and then as you come down, you're gonna push down. And you just sort of get into this rhythm where you start to feel it, and without pushing, you can gain more and more speed, and you're not quite ready to hit the top, but I'll show you that I can hit the top with pumping. See, I took it all the way from the flat bottom into that. So in order to learn how to pump, it's just gonna take a lot of practice and repetition, bending your knees and going like that. So I guess I sort of extend, bend, and then push down. And with my upper body too, I'm using my elbows, my arms, to get that rhythm going. This is best learned just on a straight mini ramp that is just straight flat, but I know some of you guys are gonna have a skate park like this one. This is Concord Skate Park in Concord, California. This place is wild, but this is a pretty cool little mini bowl. Another thing that I wanna teach you about the bowl specifically is you can learn to like ride around it like that. This is gonna require your ability to kick turn, which would be a high ability, but I see a lot of skaters, a lot of beginning skaters, or even skaters that do the surf skates, and they roll around like this. They're going around the pump track, and learning a skill like that can be really good for getting balance, getting better at imbalance, improving where you are. Good, so once you've got your pumping down and you feel confident, it's time to take it to the top ropes. So now I'm gonna teach you trick number 2. After you got the pumping on the inside, trick number 2 is the drop in. Never go just straight to the drop in. Get your pumping on the middle, get it down very well, feel very confident on it. Good, so the drop in goes like this. Your back foot is there, and you gotta understand your wheels are here, and your goal here is to get these wheels to hit ground as fast as possible with your weight pushing forward. So you're gonna go from this position into that position, into the ramp, and you want to stay on your board, obviously. The most common mistake here is that you drop in and you're leaning too far back. Your wheels don't hit the ground, you sort of manual in and you fall back. Here's how to practice this. Flat ground, put your back foot on the tail, just like that. Have your foot really on there. Not just on the edge or the tip like that, but really on the tail like that. Full weight. Now, front foot over those front bolts. This is vital. And see how much my knee is bent right there? Really bend of the knee. And now my front shoulder is gonna drop down and I'm gonna slam the board to the ground. You can practice this by like grabbing your nose like that. Take your front hand and grab the front of the nose and then boom, slam it down. When you go to drop in, you're not gonna actually grab the nose, but this gets you used to the shoulders. Look at how tilted my shoulders are there, like boom, we're gonna drop it straight in. Boom, slam the foot down. If you slam that foot down, your weight is forward, you're gonna go into that ramp, nice smooth transition, you're gonna be good to go. Just like that. I highly, highly, highly recommend. First on flat, do this 5 times. Next, you're gonna go to a bank. You want a nice mellow bank that is not too, I wouldn't choose one like this if you're brand new because this is very long. I would choose one that's smaller because the longer it is, the more speed you're gonna get because you're going down for a longer time. But same principle applies. You can even start this out at the bottom of the bank, which I'll show you in a minute. But put your back foot on the tail, front foot over those bolts, drop the front of your shoulder, slam, and then ride down the bank. See, I was going way too fast. If you're a brand new skater, you probably get rocked or you need to go into the grass. But you could start at the very bottom, like this. Barely any bank at all. Same principle. Back foot on the tail, front foot over those bolts, drop the shoulder, slam it down. Roll in. Nice and easy. Wasn't that easy? Man, a kid just the other day came up to me and said, Aaron, I tried to drop in and I slammed. And I was like, did you practice it on the flat? Did you practice it on the bank? No, of course not. I know, this is the #1 thing. Don't just go straight to the drop in. Practice it on flat, practice it on the bank. But now that we're comfortable with that, let's go to the drop-in. Let's go to the drop-in and actually do it. Okay, so you're gonna put your back foot on the tail. You're gonna pop your wheels over that coping. The coping is this bar here. And then you're gonna put your front foot on, all your weight forward, and you're gonna drop down. Boom. Remember what I said about hitting your front wheels on the ground. Your obstacle is gonna go from here to there as fast as possible with your weight in. I know it's scary. There's no way to not make this scary for your first go. It's just gonna be scary. If you have an instructor or somebody there to help you, you can hold their hands as you drop in on the first go and then hold them. And you can use that as a way to practice getting your weight to go forward. Just like all of skateboarding, you're building muscle memory. You're getting the muscles used to what they need to do to get from here to here and just push into that bank. Super vital, super key, super important. Okay, great. That's the drop-in. Once you've got this drop-in down, do it a bunch. Do it in as many different places as you can. And get comfortable with it. Because the next step is going to be a tricky one, but it is a key, basic fundamental to all ramp skating, and that is what we call the rock to fakie. Have you ever done a rock to fakie, Derek?
No.
Never?
I don't think so.
Derek's kickflipped and heel flip, but no rock to fakie. Okay, we got this. Okay, so the rock to fakie is essential after your drop in. Trick number 3, rock to fakie. So I'm basically teaching you guys the fundamental foundation of all ramp skating, so that you can then take that foundation and build on it from there. So rock to fakie looks like this. The more weird your transition is, the harder this trick is going to be. But essentially, it goes up and you put your around the center of the board on that coping on the metal, and then you lean forward like that. And then you're gonna have to lean back again, lift up the tail, and have this going backwards, and then put those front wheels in. Now, what you have to watch out for, the most terrifying thing, is you don't do this part enough and you hang up like this. You get hung up on that coping, you stop right there, and all your weight is leaning this way, and then you fall back and hit the flat bottom really hard, and your skateboard sticks right there. So you roll up, do a little teeter-totter, roll back in, and go to fakie. That's the rock to fakie. It's called rock to fakie. So to get this down, you want to take the absolute easiest way possible. Do it on a bank. Do it on something that you can get comfortable with before you have the situation of that coping possibly hanging you up. So we're just gonna meander down here to this bank, and I'm gonna show you how you would practice it. Great, so we got this bank, easy place to practice. You're not going to hang up because there's no piece of metal there that could possibly hang you up, but this is gonna get your body used to going up and then not quite stopping, but a little stall and then coming back. It's just building the muscle memory so you can start to feel what it's gonna be like. So to start off, just roll up and back. Just like that, super simple. Keep it simple, guys. Then roll up to the top and get your front wheels over the top of it. That's the goal here. Front wheels over the top. Bada boom, bada bing. You could go to a little bit of a steeper bank if you have one, but some of you guys won't even have a bank, so you don't even have this option to practice on. But if you do, do it. You could set up a bank on maybe the curb cut outside your house or whatever you got. But that's a good little practice step. Now, we're gonna go back to the mini bowl, mini ramp, and we're gonna do the full rock to fakie. Okay, so you got your drop in down, you're ready, you practice on the bank, you're confident, you're gonna drop in, you're gonna have your front foot on those bolts. You want to get to a position where you can hear the board hit, slap and back. And just stall there, just for a second. And then go back. You don't wanna stand there too long. The longer you stand there, the more likely you are to get hung up and get stuck into that very bad position where you fall back into the ramp. And that's what there is to this. On a ramp like this, I highly recommend wearing knee pads, and I highly recommend learning to knee slide beforehand, because if anything gets out of hand or you start to fall, you have an exit strategy. You can jump and knee slide into the ramp. If you have any questions on how that works, watch my vert skating series. When I was learning how to skate vert, I was knee sliding out of everything. Okay, so that's trick number 3. You now got pumping, drop in, and the rock to fakie. Now we're gonna go into trick number 4, the essential trick. So once you get up to this point right here, and you learn trick number 4, which is the tail stall, you can have the basics of ramp skating down, and you can just go back and forth and back and forth. When I was a kid and I first learned how to skate ramps, when I learned the tail stall, it opened up everything for me, because I could just go rock to fakie, tail stall, and then add on any other tricks that I wanted to. The tail stall is tricky, and I feel like this is hard for beginners. In fact, when I was teaching Lance to skate mini ramp, this one was really hard for him. So you roll up fakie, and you have to have your back foot weight on the board, and you have to do near the coping right there. One thing I see beginners do on this is they get nervous and antsy, and they try and push down too early, and they go like about right here, and they stop. So a way to practice this, which can be good, is to just do it on little increments, just tiny little bits. So we're just gonna roll up and then just go stop, right? And you're getting used to it. You're getting used to shifting your body weight back, stop, and then drop back in. Give it a little push, a little higher, back, stop, and then drop back in. Eventually you wanna take it to where there's enough speed where you're essentially dropping in, right? So you already learned the drop in, so you know this part of it. So now you just need to learn the part going from in the ramp back to the tail stall, which again, like I said, for a brand new skater, it can be scary, just like that. It can be tricky, but I know you can do it. So back up. You want to watch, keep your eyes on that coping as much as you can. Eyes on the coping, boom, drop the tail. Eyes on the coping, tail drop. So now you can understand, once you have the tail stall, rock to fakie, just do it endlessly. every time you go to the skate park. Tail stall, rock to fakie, tail stall, rock to fakie. Now, I'm gonna give you the 5th trick, which is gonna be the rock and roll. This is similar to the rock in that you're doing a stall, but now you're gonna roll in with a kick turn. Boom. You've already got the rock, so you've got a good foundation. Now, we're gonna learn to kick turn. Turn your upper body, boom. If you're learning correctly, you already learned how to kick turn. You learned this on flat, you learned it on a bank, and now you're learning it on transition. And probably long ago, probably you got really comfortable with your board and already learned this, or you should have. Starts in the upper body, head and shoulders. Starts with that turn, then your legs follow. When I'm teaching this to brand new skaters, I tell them, like, pretend you're walking up and somebody's behind you and you have to turn to look at them. You turn your upper body first, then your legs are gonna follow. Okay, so here we go. Right up, turn, boom. Right up, turn, boom. And again. And just repeat that a lot. This is another really good thing that you can even do when you're learning to pump, is you can just get your kick turns down. Do that too much and you're gonna get dizzy. Okay, so get your drop in. You're gonna roll up, you're gonna do the stall. And then as you stall, upper body, head and shoulders turning, then your legs will follow and you're gonna turn into the ramp. And we got the rock and roll. The thing about mini ramp skating is that you always have speed, there's always momentum, and you can just go wall to wall and just keep doing the same thing. You can really get the practice down. So I've taught you the basics. Now you've learned how to pump in the mini ramp, how to drop in. Now you've learned how to pump, how to drop in, rock to fakie, tail stall, and rock and roll. These are 5 very basic essential tricks that can take your mini ramp skating to the next level, because from here, you get a little bit of confidence and you go, oh, well, now I can do that. Now I can go onto the coping and do a slash. Now I can learn all of these other tricks, right? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more mini ramp tutorials, please leave it in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, like, and you, yes you, learn to ride a skateboard. We have everything you need at brailleskateboarding.com.